Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna give you Manchester United's player ratings from our 5-1 win against Leeds. So, David De Gea, I'm gonna give him a 7 out of 10. De Gea made a couple of saves to deny Jack Harrison and Click. Apart from that, didn't really have much to do. Couldn't do anything about Luke Ayling's wonderful strike. So 7 out of 10 for De Gea. And Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he showed some good attacking intent in the game. I thought he was very disciplined. And defended well. Victor Lindelof, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I thought he made some vital interceptions in the game. Also got an assist. So Lindelof deserves an 8 out of 10. Harry Maguire, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Harry Maguire was very good defensively, and he kept Patrick Bamford quiet. He was caught off pace a couple of times. Luke Shaw, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought Luke Shaw got forward very well. He was very good in the attacking third of the pitch. Also had a good chance in the game, but it hit the side netting. So 7 out of 10 for Luke Shaw. Fred, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. Reflecting on his second half performance. He was quiet in the first half. Fred got his name on the score sheet. Scott McTominay, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Pretty average performance. Bruno Fernandez, 10 out of 10. Bruno Fernandez got a hat-trick in the game. His first hat-trick for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandez's first goal should have actually been saved by Meslier. So 10 out of 10 for Bruno Fernandez, definitely. Paul Pogba, gonna give him a 10 out of 10. Paul Pogba got 4 assists in the game. Should have got his name on the score sheet because he had a fantastic chance in the game. Prior to the game, Solskjaer relaxed media magnet over Paul Pogba. Man United expect Paul Pogba to stay as contract talks continue. It recently said though that Paul Pogba is very likely to leave Man United next summer on a free when his contract expires. So 10 out of 10 for Pogba. Daniel James, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Didn't really do much in the game. He did have a couple of chances. Mason Greenwood, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. Mason Greenwood got his name on the score sheet. He could have had more than one goal because he had 2 good chances in the first half. One came from a mistake from Leeds. So 8 out of 10 for Mason Greenwood. We brought substitutions on in the game. We saw Matic come on. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. We saw Anthony Martial come on. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. And we saw Jaden Sancho come on. I'll give him a, just say 6 out of 10. Wasn't really on long enough to make an impact. But it was good to see Jaden Sancho make his debut. Before the game, it did say that Jaden Sancho's Man United debut against Leeds was in doubt because Solskjaer said that Jaden Sancho has been feeling a little sick and he's been only able to complete one full training session at Manchester United. Solskjaer did also say that Sancho had a holiday after the Euros. So that is your player ratings from our 5-1 win against Leeds. What a fantastic start to the season for Manchester United. We are now top of the Premier League. I was expecting Manchester United to win today. From a Leeds perspective, they'll be disappointed. I think Leeds will stay up though this season. You know, last season Leeds finished 9th and they enjoyed a very good season to their standards. Last season was Leeds' first season in the Premier League since 2004 because Leeds got relegated back in 2004. They was out of the top flight for 16 years. The season before last, Leeds won the Championship. It was their first trophy in 28 years. Like I said on the preview, Marcelo Bielsa is a good manager. I've got a lot of respect for him, despite me being a Manchester United fan, because Marcelo Bielsa has transformed Leeds. He's got a good pedigree behind him. He used to manage in Argentina, and a long time ago Marcelo Bielsa worked alongside Pep Guardiola. Marcelo Bielsa taught Pep Guardiola, and Pep Guardiola has been following Marcelo Bielsa's philosophy at Man City. You know, we thrashed Leeds last season at Old Trafford 6-2. You know, McTominay made the difference in that game. Because he scored 2 goals in the first, 2 or 3 minutes. We drew with Leeds at Ellen Road last season 0-0. That was a very poor game. In that particular game though, Calvin Phillips had Bruno Fernandez in his pocket. You know, we beat Leeds 4-0 in Australia. That was pre-season of the summer of 2019. We're beating them 3-0 back in the Carling Cup back in 2011. The last time Leeds beat us was back in January 2010 in the FA Cup third round. It was 1-0. It was a goal from Jermaine Beckford. The last time Leeds beaten us at Old Trafford in the Premier League was back in 1981. Obviously, we did have players missing today. There was no Dean Henderson because obviously he's been recovering from COVID. There was no Marcus Rashford because Marcus Rashford has got a shoulder injury. Don't forget Rashford decided to have surgery on his shoulder. So Rashford is out until October. There's no Lingard, he's been out with COVID. There's no Alex Telles, he's got an ankle injury that he sustained a few weeks ago in training. He wouldn't have been in contention to start today anyway. Jones, he's still injured. There was no Eric Bailly or Edison Cavani. Leeds only had 2 injuries as far as I'm aware. Adam Forshaw was out, but Adam Forshaw doesn't get in Leeds' team anyway. And Diego Llorente was out. Now, Manchester United's next game is Southampton away next Sunday. I'm expecting Manchester United to win that game. I think Southampton are going to struggle this season because Southampton recently lost Danny Ings. He went to Aston Villa. They also lost Bertrand to Leicester, and they also lost Vestergaard to Leicester. They've lost quite a lot of good players of Southampton. Quite a few years ago, they lost Virgil van Dijk to Liverpool. They lost Cedric Soares to Arsenal. They lost Nathaniel Klein. They lost Dejan Lovren. They lost Adam Lallana. They lost Sadio Mane. They lost Charlie Austin. Lost Luke Shaw back in 2014. To be fair though, Liverpool have done good business with Southampton in recent years. Southampton have made some signings in the summer. Obviously they brought Adam Armstrong in. They brought Valentino Livramento in. They brought Romain. What's his surname now? It's Romain something. I can't remember. And they brought Armando Broja in. We beat Southampton twice last season, beating them 3-2 at St Mary's. We come from 2 goals behind in that game. And we're beating them 9-0 at Old Trafford last season. That was the first time we'd scored 9 goals since the 9-0 win against Ipswich back in 1995. But like I said, I think we should win our next 4 games. We should be beating Southampton, should be beating Wolves, should be beating Newcastle, and should be beating West Ham. But like I said, this season is absolutely massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he is aware of that. Because Solskjaer knows he's got big expectations to exceed. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. Can Man United win the Premier League this season? There's a chance. I certainly think the signings of Sancho and Varane turn Man United into title contenders, but Solskjaer has to win a trophy at Man United this season because he's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017. And we know that Solskjaer's decision making has also got to improve this season, because in a lot of the games he's managed so far at Man United, he has been tactically naive. This is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. By the way, Manchester United have confirmed the signing of Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. We got him in a deal worth £41 million. Obviously there's add-ons included. Varane has signed a 4-year contract with Man United. There's an option of a further year. Varane is wearing the number 19 shirt. Before the game against Leeds, Solskjaer did say that the Raphael Varane deal was not 100% done. The Raphael Varane announcement was recently delayed due to image rights. The other day, Varane completed his medical with Man United and he did quarantine in Manchester. You know, he's our third signing of this summer transfer window. I'm expecting Varane to make his debut for Man United next week against Southampton. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a very, very good pedigree as a player because he won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid. And he will exceed expectations in the Premier League, and I think at Man United he'll replicate what he did in his years with Real Madrid. And what a fantastic centre-back partnership that is, Varane and Harry Maguire, because they'll complement each other very well. Varane did endure 10 years with Real Madrid. He made 360 appearances in all competitions. His current contract at Real Madrid was due to expire next year. Real Madrid did offer Varane a renewal contract offer, but he rejected it. Real Madrid did get Varane from Lens back in 2011. Solskjaer did recently confirm that he wants to make one more signing in this summer transfer window. But who's it going to be? And Solskjaer, not so long ago, spoke out on Man United's transfer plans for before the deadline, and he said any more signings would be a bonus for Man United as we approach the final 3 weeks of the summer transfer window. Solskjaer's priority is to get a midfielder in. Obviously, you know the news on Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes. The Sun said yesterday that Man United are in an Eduardo Camavinga race with PSG as Rennes set a fee of 34 million. Man United believe that Eduardo Camavinga wants to make a move to Spain after holding discussions with his representatives. Fabrizio Romano recently said that Eduardo Camavinga has 2 options this summer, including Man United, as his contract showdown continues with Rennes. His current contract at Rennes expires next year. Now, Mohamed Bouatsfi said not so long ago that Eduardo Camavinga's agent, Jonathan Barnett, is pushing him towards Man United, but he prefers PSG. And Rennes sporting director and Rennes' coach confirmed that Camavinga will leave Rennes this summer. He's made 82 appearances for Rennes in all competitions. Now, it recently said we abandoned our pursuits of Trippier, Camavinga, Ruben Neves and Saul Niguez. Ruben Neves to Man United I think is out of the equation, because quite a few weeks ago now Ruben Neves hinted that he'd made a decision on his future. And he called any talks of a transfer away. So he's very happy at Wolves. He said he's revealed his excitement of working alongside Bruno Fernandez. But he did say at one point that Wolves are ready to sell Ruben Neves and they will accept around 35 million. He said Man United were leading Arsenal in the race. Ruben Neves has got a contract with Wolves until 2024. Wolves paid 15.8 million for him from Porto back in 2017. Saul Niguez, you know the news on him. Not so long ago it did say that Man United are interested in him. Man United had talks with the agents of Saul Niguez. The other week it said that the agents of Saul Niguez were due in England for talks with Man United and Liverpool, because Man United and Liverpool were the ones that were battling it out for him. He said Atletico Madrid wanted between 35 million to 40 million pounds for him. The AS did actually say that Sol Niguez favours a move to Barcelona, because not so long ago Barcelona were in talks with Atletico Madrid over a swap deal involving Antoine Griezmann and Niguez. We actually identified Niguez as a potential replacement for Pogba, and Niguez has a gentleman's agreement in place with Atletico Madrid. Niguez has a £128 million release clause. He's got a contract with Atletico Madrid till 2026, because back in 2017 he signed a 9-year contract. And he's been long-serving player at Atletico Madrid. He's been with them for around 13 years or so now, risen up their academy. Can be deployed as a central midfielder or a defensive midfielder. Not so long ago, I give you the news on Corentin Tolisso. It said Man United and Arsenal are ready to battle for Corentin Tolisso. Bild said that Bayern Munich are willing to sell Tolisso for €10 million. That equates to around 8.5 million in pounds sterling, which is an absolute bargain for Tolisso. Tolisso's current contract at Bayern Munich expires next year. Bayern Munich paid €41.5 million for him from Lyon back in 2017, and we've also been linked with Leon Goretzka from Bayern Munich. But Man United are enjoying a very good summer transfer window. Solskjaer is getting the players that he wants to recommend in, and he's getting the backing he deserves, because Solskjaer wasn't backed enough for such a long time. Our owners, the Glazers, have surprisingly backed him, but only because they've been persuaded to. Woodward said several times before that he'll back Solskjaer, and when we was enjoying them bad periods under Solskjaer, Woodward assured that Solskjaer's job was safe. You've got John Murtaugh, he's backed Solskjaer as well, because he's played a part in getting Solskjaer the signings he wants in. We certainly made the right decision getting a director of footballing, because I said that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. And obviously Darren Fletcher, he's part of the club, and so too is Matt Judge. We have spent around 120 million, is it, in this summer transfer window, and we've made 3 signings so far. We brought Tom Eaton in on the free from Aston Villa, we brought Jaden Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, and we brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid. But Man United must sell some players now to get more signings on the board, like I've mentioned before. I want us to offload Anthony Martial, but I don't think we're going to in this summer transfer window, because Solskjaer refuses to sell Anthony Martial, because Martial's part of Solskjaer's plans this season. It recently said that Man United are ready to sell Anthony Martial, and we want at least £50 million. It did say, that Inter Milan were interested. It said Inter Milan wanted him to replace Romelu Lukaku, because Lukaku agreed to go back to Chelsea. He said we'd agree to let Martial go out on loan as long as Inter Milan agree an obligation to buy in any deal. Inter Milan have done business with us in recent years because they got young offers, Lukaku and Sanchez and that. Said also Everton were keen on Martial. Like I said, I'd like us to offload Lingard, but I don't think we're going to, because Solskjaer recently confirmed that Lingard is staying. I'd like us to offload Andres Pereira. Pereira was out on loan with Lazio last season. I want us to offload Delors. Delors could still be leaving. Milan have been linked with him. Delors was out on loan with AC Milan last season. I said I'd like us to offload Matic, because I've got my strong reservations about him. There's a very good chance that we're going to loan Brandon Williams out to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities, because Williams is our third choice left back. He seldom plays for us now. Phil Jones, I also want us to offload him. he hasn't played for us since January. Phil Jones has always been inconsistent, doesn't get in our 11, and he's the only outfield player that's still with us from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Being a long-serving player at Man United, though, he's endured 10 years at the club. Obviously, Amad Diallo, he's going out on loan. It's the right decision to put him out on loan to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities, because Amad Diallo doesn't really play much for us, does he? We got Amad Diallo in a deal worth 37 million from Atlanta, didn't we? Back in January, and we paid 19 million up front. Amad Diallo's got a contract with us until 2025. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like I've said to you, I think he's our best manager since Ferguson. Despite me criticising him a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. He has now been in charge of Man United for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in December. A few weeks ago, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's also an option of a further year. So basically, Solskjaer signed a new 3-year contract. I think a lot of United fans disagreed with him signing this new contract because he won't see out this new contract. Reflecting how long Solskjaer's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learned quite a bit on the job. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells at Molde, and before Molde he was at Cardiff, and he enjoyed a very short tenure at Cardiff. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting them relegated. Ole managed the Man United reserve team for a couple of years to watch some of the team grow and develop. But like I've said to you before, we adore Solskjaer because he's a club legend. He enjoyed 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We're given the job permanently back in March 2019, reflecting how well he did as the interim manager in that 3-month period. Like I've said to you though, there is positives regarding Ole. He's more or less giving everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, which he showed he would do when he came in. I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. He has made good signings as Manchester United manager. In total now, I think he's spent just over £400 million, and Solskjaer has signed 13 players. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. Solskjaer's got us to semi-finals. Last season got us to the Europa League final, which was his first major final as Man United manager. Also got us to the FA Cup quarter final. So you can see that Solskjaer has made progress there. Got a 2nd place finish last season. His first full season got us a 3rd place finish. But for Solskjaer to prove himself as Man United manager, he has to win a trophy this season, like I mentioned earlier. And Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. And he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. But, like I said to you, Solskjaer not so long ago talked up Man United's title hopes. He knows the pressure is on, and Solskjaer made an admission saying that Man City are the favourites, but the title race is over. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more videos tomorrow.